Credit cards are everywhere. They sit in our wallets, quietly shaping how we spend, borrow, and even how we think about money. And in 2025, they are more powerful, and in some cases, more dangerous than ever before. Today, we're going to rank them from the very best to the very worst and uncover truths that most companies would prefer you never hear. Let's begin with what makes these cards so tempting in the first place: the rewards. Sign up bonuses, free miles, cashback percentages. They're packaged like glittering prizes. But behind that shine lies a cost that's far less glamorous. Many of these rewards are structured in a way that only benefits a fraction of cardholders, the ones who never carry a balance. For everyone else, the high interest rates and sneaky fees eat away at any so-called reward. In other words, you may think you're earning while you spend, but in reality, you're paying more than you gain. This is the trap set by the worst credit cards. They make you believe you're winning when, in fact, you're not. Now, let's talk about the winners, the best cards of 2025. These are the ones that actually deliver value to the consumer, low or no annual fees, clear, transparent reward systems that don't require a PhD in fine print to understand, cards that prioritize the customer instead of the corporation. These are the cards that give you control instead of holding it over you. They're not just convenient tools, they're safe companions on your financial journey. And in a year where the economy is unpredictable, finding a card that doesn't punish you for simply being human, that matters more than ever. But then there are the losers, the worst cards of 2025, and they deserve to be called out. These are the cards that drown you in fees, that spike your interest rates the moment you stumble, that entice you with flashy perks only to trap you in a cycle of debt. They are designed not for your success, but for your downfall. They prey on vulnerability, on desperation, on the hope that maybe, just maybe, that shiny sign-up bonus will make it worth it. But in the long run, these cards don't reward you, they punish you. And here's the lesson. The right credit card will not make you rich, but the wrong one can absolutely keep you poor. It's not about the flash, the glamour, or the illusion of free rewards. It's about reading the fine print, about knowing what you're really signing up for, and about protecting your financial future from those who would happily take it away. In 2025, more than ever, we have to be smarter, sharper, and unwilling to fall for tricks. Because when it comes to credit cards, the difference between the best and the worst is the difference between freedom and financial chains. So the question isn't which card is the flashiest. The question is which card respects you enough not to deceive you. And once you answer that, you'll know which one belongs in your wallet and which one belongs in the shredder. The real cost behind rewards is one of the most misunderstood aspects of credit card use. And in 2025, it has never been more important to shine a light on it. At first glance, rewards programs look like a gift. You swipe your card, and the bank gives you cashback points or airline miles. It feels like free money, like the card is paying you to spend. And that's exactly how it's marketed. Glossy advertisements show dream vacations, luxury shopping sprees, and effortless cash bonuses. But what they don't show is the fine print, the hidden fees, and the steep interest rates that quietly drain your finances if you're not extremely careful. The truth is, these rewards are not designed to make you rich. They're designed to keep you spending. Take the example of a card offering a 2% cashback reward. On paper, that sounds generous. You spend 1,000 and you get 20 back. But if that same card carries an interest rate of 24% and you carry even a modest balance of 4,000 for a month, you'll end up paying $20 in interest. In other words, your shiny cashback reward is instantly canceled out, leaving you with nothing to show for it. Multiply that over several months, and the bank is making far more money off you than they are ever giving back. This is how the system works. They lure you in with pennies while quietly taking dollars. Then there are the annual fees. Some of the most aggressively marketed premium Cards charge $500 or more every single year, promising exclusive perks in exchange. Sure, you may get airport lounge access or a handful of travel credits, but how many cardholders truly use those benefits enough to make the fee worthwhile? For many, those extras go unused, and the annual fee becomes nothing more than a donation to the bank's bottom line. And yet, people sign up because the upfront rewards look irresistible. Huge sign-up bonuses like earn 100,000 points in 3 months. What's rarely emphasized is the catch. You must spend thousands of dollars within that short period to qualify. For some, that means overspending on things they don't even need just to feel like they're winning the game. But in reality, the game is rigged in favor of the card issuer. The psychology of rewards plays a massive role here. Studies have shown that when people use credit cards, they tend to spend more than when they use cash. Add a rewards program on top, and that spending increases even further because the brain associates every purchase with a future payoff. You're not just buying dinner, you're earning points. You're not just booking a flight, you're unlocking rewards. The language reframes spending as saving, and that's a dangerous illusion. It creates the feeling that you're financially benefiting, when really, you're giving the bank exactly what it wants: more transactions, more interest, and more opportunity to profit. So, while rewards programs can be beneficial for disciplined consumers who always pay their balances in full, the harsh truth is that most people don't fall into that category. For the average person, the cost of interest, fees, and overspending far outweighs the small percentage earned back in perks. The rewards are not free. They're funded by the very people who believe they're getting ahead. And until we confront that reality, millions will continue to chase points and miles, blind to the fact that what looks like a prize is often just a very expensive trap. ChatGPT said, "The best cards of 2025 stand out not because they dazzle with the biggest promises, but because they deliver steady value with fairness and transparency. These are the cards that make sense for real people, the ones that understand most consumers don't want to play games with points or decode a maze of restrictions just to access the rewards they've earned. Instead, the best cards of this year are simple, clear, and honest. They provide rewards that are easy to redeem, charge little or no annual fee, and avoid burying consumers under a mountain of fine print. When you look closely, the most valuable cards in 2025 are not always the flashiest or the ones with the biggest marketing budgets, but the ones that respect the everyday user. Take the example of no annual fee cashback cards. These have become incredibly popular in 2025 because they offer straightforward rewards. Spend $1, get a percentage back. It's that simple. No blackout dates, no minimums, no confusing redemption rules. For the average consumer who buys groceries, pays utility bills, and fills up at the gas station, this kind of card makes life easier. Every purchase comes with a small, guaranteed return, and because there's no annual fee eating into your earnings, the rewards you get actually feel like a benefit instead of a trade-off. These cards work best for people who want steady value without unnecessary complications. Another hallmark of the best cards this year is consumer-friendly interest rates and penalty policies. While credit card companies will always make money from interest, the most competitive issuers in 2025 have begun offering lower APRs or more forgiving grace periods. Some of the best cards even feature automatic late payment forgiveness once or twice a year, recognizing that life happens and mistakes occur. That kind of flexibility might sound small, but for someone juggling bills, family expenses, and an unpredictable economy, it can mean the difference between financial stability and spiraling debt. Travel cards, too, have evolved in 2025. The strongest ones are no longer focused only on luxury perks that only frequent flyers can enjoy. Instead, they've shifted toward practical benefits like no foreign transaction fees, flexible redemption options, and transparent point systems that actually give you what they promise. For the global traveler, or even someone who makes the occasional international purchase online, these cards save real money without charging hundreds in annual fees. They offer perks that fit the lifestyles of more people, not just the wealthy few. Another factor that defines the best credit cards this year is security. With cyber attacks and fraud cases on the rise, leading cards in 2025 prioritize consumer safety. They provide real-time alerts, advanced fraud detection, and even virtual card numbers for online purchases to protect against theft. These features go beyond rewards. They provide peace of mind. And when it comes to your money, peace of mind is one of the most valuable benefits a card can give. Ultimately, the best cards of 2025 succeed because they align with what consumers actually need: simplicity, fairness, safety, and rewards that work in everyday life. They don't lure you into spending more than you can afford, and they don't hide behind tricky terms. They give you confidence instead of confusion. And in a financial world that's often stacked against the average person, finding a card that genuinely works in your favor is like finding a rare alley. These are the cards worth keeping, and the ones that deserve the title of best in 2025. The worst cards of 2025 are not simply bad deals. They are financial traps disguised as opportunities. These are the cards that exploit trust, manipulate desire, and punish mistakes. They lure people in with promises of massive sign-up bonuses, luxury perks, or easy approvals. But once you're hooked, they start extracting money through sky-high interest rates, crushing fees, and terms designed to keep you stuck. If the best cards are built to support financial health, the worst ones are engineered to undermine it, preying on the very people who can least afford the consequences. One of the most dangerous features of the worst cards this year is the deceptive way they present rewards. Many of them market themselves as premium or exclusive, showcasing glamorous benefits like luxury hotel stays, airport lounge access, or massive amounts of bonus points. But hidden in the fine print are conditions that make those perks nearly impossible to access. You may need to spend $5 or more in just a few months to qualify for a sign-up bonus. Or you might find that your free travel perks come with blackout dates, high redemption rates, or restrictions that render them nearly useless. These cards bank on the fact that most people won't read every detail. They sell the dream, but in reality, it's a mirage. Then come the fees, annual fees, balance transfer fees, cash advance fees, late fees, and foreign transaction fees. Some of the worst cards in 2025 charge annual fees upward of $500 without offering enough real benefits to justify it. And when you add in fees for nearly every action you take, the cost of simply having the card outweighs any potential gain. Imagine paying $500 a year for a card that promises elite status or airline perks, only to find you use those perks once, maybe twice in a year. Suddenly, the value collapses, and you've essentially paid hundreds for nothing. That's not convenience. It's exploitation. The interest rates on the worst cards are another glaring red flag. While the average credit card APR is already high, some of the bottom-tier cards in 2025 are charging rates of 28% or more. For someone carrying a balance, that means debt balloons at a frightening pace. Worse still, some cards reserve the right to increase your rate suddenly after a late payment or even a drop in your credit score. It's a system designed not to help people manage debt, but to keep them buried in it. Predatory practices also target vulnerable groups, especially those with poor or limited credit history. Easy approval cards often appeal to people desperate to rebuild their credit, but they do so by offering tiny credit limits, sky-high fees, and interest rates that almost guarantee financial struggle. These cards don't exist to help, they exist to profit from desperation. And for those who can least afford it, the impact is devastating. The truth about the worst cards of 2025 is that they operate less like financial tools and more like traps. They thrive on confusion, overcomplication, and the hope that consumers won't notice until it's too late. They promise empowerment but deliver chains, locking people into cycles of debt that benefit no one but the banks. And while they may glitter with promises, it's crucial to remember not everything that shines is gold. Sometimes it's just a very expensive illusion. ChatGPT said the lesson for consumers in 2025 is clear. Choosing the right credit card is not about chasing flashy perks or being dazzled by marketing. It's about protecting your financial freedom and avoiding traps that can quietly drain your money. The truth is, a credit card is not just a piece of plastic, it's a contract. And hidden within that contract are terms that can either work for you or work against you. The key is learning how to spot the difference. For too long, consumers have been taught to focus on the shiny surface, sign up bonuses, rewards programs, premium perks, without digging into the fine print where the real story lies. But if you want to come out ahead, you need to flip that perspective. Ignore the glitter and look at the foundation. The first lesson is to understand your own spending habits. A card that works beautifully for one person may be a nightmare for another. For example, a traveler who flies often may benefit from a card with airline perks and no foreign transaction fees. But for someone who rarely leaves their hometown, those perks are worthless and the annual fee becomes a needless expense. The best card for you is the one that aligns with your lifestyle, not the one that looks the most glamorous on paper. The mistake many consumers make is chasing rewards they will never actually use, essentially paying for benefits that belong to someone else. The second lesson is to respect the power of interest rates. The average person does not pay off their balance in full every single month, and that is where most of the financial damage occurs. Rewards may give you back 1% to 3% on your spending, but interest rates can take 20% or more. That math never works in your favor. If you carry a balance, the most important feature to look for is a low interest rate, not a shiny rewards program. For people working to pay down debt, a simple card with 0% introductory APR on balance transfers may be far more valuable than a premium card with lounge access or bonus miles. The third lesson is about vigilance. Terms and conditions are not static. Card issuers can and do change them. Fees increase, interest rates climb, and reward structures shift. Too many consumers stick with the same card year after year without noticing the ground moving beneath them. In 2025, loyalty to a card does not guarantee loyalty from the issuer. You must monitor your statements, pay attention to updates, and be willing to switch cards if yours stops serving your needs. Finally, the biggest lesson is this: a credit card is a tool, not a lifestyle. It should serve your goals, not dictate them. If a card encourages you to overspend just to earn points, it's controlling you. But if it helps you build credit, manage expenses, and protect your financial security, then you are the one in control. The line between freedom and financial chains is thin, and it's drawn by the choices you make with your wallet. In a world where credit cards are designed to profit off your mistakes, your greatest defense is awareness. Once you see past the illusions, you'll realize that the real reward is not in the perks. It's in keeping your money where it belongs, in your own hands.